Indie games are stealing the show, and Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is leading the charts, selling over 2 million copies in just 12 days. And today we're diving into why AAA game developers are worried about indie studios. Clair Obscur Expedition 33, a small French team of about 30 developers, sold 1 million copies in just 1 week and 2 million copies in just under 2 weeks. This goes to show you don't need a huge team of 19,000 or maybe 2,000 employees working on a production like Assassin's Creed Shadows. You don't need a huge budget to work on a game like Concord, which required over $200 million to make. And this is why a lot of AAA studios are actually scared, thinking that this might actually be a problem in the future. Now let's take a look at an article right over here coming to us from Game Developer. The deprofessionalization of video games was full on display at PAX East. PAX East felt like a warning. Explosively successful games by solo devs and small teams are great, but could lead to a death of vital specialists. So I guess they were talking about key specialists who are artists, coders, engineers, producers. But a lot of times when it comes down to these smaller development indie studios or even AA studios such as Larian Studios or the studios that made Hollow Knight, Stardew Valley, or even Schedule 1, they actually need to put on multiple hats. It's because they don't have enough people or manpower to work there. So usually an artist will become a generalist or pick up software engineering to help with the game. At DICE and GDC this year, I heard talk of a trend in game development that sent a chill down my spine: deprofessionalization. As A16Z marketing partner Ryan Rigney, deprofessionalization is a phenomenon driven by the overperformance of older titles, large studios struggling to drive sales, and the outsized success of some solo developers and small teams. These three forces, he argues, will combine to drive career professionals from the traditional professionalized side of the game industry. Some of these people will decide to go indie, others will leave gaming altogether, and in between, there's a vast spectrum of irregular working arrangements available. Now, what actually caused this was bloat. Especially in 2020, when a lot of studios overhired due to COVID and a lot of people working from home and a lot of people stuck inside their houses, they thought that they can actually hire a bunch of people and churn out as much product as possible, hoping that the consumers will eat it up. And they did for a short amount of time. And of course, like clockwork, things actually rebounded when COVID was over. Now you have a lot of people who are working at these companies that are getting laid off, like Embracer Group, Unity, and Microsoft, just to name a few. And that's the reason why a lot of them are worried. You don't need a huge team to make a very good game. Take a look at Stardew Valley, Among Us, Hollow Knight, and now even Clair Obscur Expedition 33. Now let's talk about Schedule 1, which was made by a guy named Tyler, cost $20 on Steam, and has garnered over 450,000 players. And why did that game do so well? Because of the gameplay. You don't need artists over designing a character, over designing the background or anything like that. It's because the gameplay is actually what really matters most. Gameplay is key and gameplay is king. Expedition 33 proves that gameplay is the most important thing in a video game. Nobody actually really cares about how the game looks as much as how the game plays. The gameplay mechanics is what really sells a lot of games. Yes, you can have a game that looks really, really good, or it looks really appealing, or even have extremely attractive women in it, like First Descendant, but the gameplay isn't as good as it should be, so not a lot of people are actually playing the game. So gameplay is key here. But this isn't the first time that major studios and corporations and AAA development teams have complained about indie studios or AA studios making them look bad. From the same website several years ago, what does Baldur's Gate 3 standard setting discourse mean for devs? Developers and experts weigh in on the strange phenomenon of Baldur's Gate 3 standard discourse. Now, Baldur's Gate 3 won Game of the Year several years ago, and I 100% agree with its success. It was my Game of the Year for 2023, and this game was a massive success. Larian Studios knocked it out of the park with multiple updates, listening to the fans, and actually having characters that actually look appealing and attractive. Yes, this game was in early access for quite some time, but the fact that this game is still getting constant updates goes to show that gameplay and listening to your fans is key in a video game's success. And Baldur's Gate 3 only cost $60 during the release. And with tools like Unreal Engine, small teams like Clair Obscur Expedition 33 development team with only about 30 people basically made a game that is Game of the Year contender for only $50. And on the other hand, you have companies like Ubisoft, Sony, Bungie requiring a huge team and a massive budget just for a game that flops. Now, this just goes to show that Clair Obscur proves that indies can outshine AAA studios with bold ideas and a small budget. But can AAA studios adapt? Do you think they can learn from their mistakes? Sound off in the comments down below. Like, share, subscribe to this channel, and we will see you guys next time.